But with God, literally, when we are created in like his picture. And so we are imaging him in the earth. It's not so much that we represent God, but we represent God again. Does everybody understand? So the image of God is not so much an ability of anything that we do, it is who we are. It is a status. We are his representatives. We have the ability and the responsibility of imaging him or presenting him in the world. How do we do that? It's just a status that we have simply by being human beings. Does everybody understand? All right. So when it talks about being made in the image of God, it's speaking prepositionally. All right. We image him. All right. In the same way, I like to think of it as like a negative. You know how when you remember back in the days before we had these instantaneous cameras, you know, picture pop right out. Back in the day, you take a picture and then they had to develop a what? Anybody, what was the thing that they had?
Film.
Film.
A negative. Produce
Negative,
a
right? The
negative.
negative, and then they had to put the negative in the dark room in order so it didn't get ruined and everything like that. But with God, literally, when we are created in like his picture. And so we are imaging him in the earth. When we go out into the earth, just by being human beings, we are imaging him. Now, this is not so much, and I'm going to give you the rest of the slides so you can read it while I'm talking. It's not so much, there is a very polemical nature to this. And by polemic, I mean it's a diss track. It's taking shots at someone. Because in those days, in the Sumerian, the Canaanite, the Babylonian cultures, only the king, the emperor, or the pharaoh was the image of the God in heaven on the earth. They were the representation of that deity in the earth, but it was only the top dog. So God says, Israel, I know what y'all are familiar with all of these other cultures, but it's not just the king or the emperor or the pharaoh who is unique and special. Every single human being is made in my image. And this was a front or a diss track to every other culture that they were doing. God is letting them know the way I see you is different than the way that every other God would see you as well. Because in those cultures, only, the human beings were made to do the slave work that the gods did not want to do. So what does God say? He says, no, you're not here to do slave work. You are here as my divine representatives in the earth.